Hello guys, so today's video is not going to be for everyone, right? Now if you've heard about Richard Hart's outrage marketing and you don't agree with it, you might not want to watch this video, right? Now, Richard Hart did something. He started what we call the big P-squared challenge. Now we're calling it P-squared because we don't want to anger the algorithm gods. P-squared simply means P by P. You put one P and then you put another one, right? And then you come up with a word. Now, it's math 101. Now, when he did that challenge, when he started that challenge, the P-squared challenge, he showed us this image, right? And I mean, God, I was like, why, my God, we're really impressed, right? This is really cool. Really cool, really cool. Then Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, was like, hey, hold my beer, Richard. I'm going to show them this image, right? Now, this is pretty cool, but if you take this and you take this, clearly we can see who's winning the competition here. So, according to the mathematics, I'm going to support the winning side. So I'm now officially an Ethereum maximalist. I mean, Vitalik did this. Now, the purpose of this channel is to help people turn a small amount of money into a large amount of money. And we're going to do this by education, right? Teaching one thing at a time every day. We learn new stuff about crypto. So we want to talk about Vitalik Buterin today. Now, Vitalik got into crypto in 2011 at 17 years old, right? Pretty young, right? And at that time, he didn't have enough money to buy a Bitcoin miner because back then it was only Bitcoin. He didn't have enough money to buy bags and bags of Bitcoin. So he started writing, right? Now, that's lesson number one, right? If you don't have enough money to buy crypto, find a way to add value. He started writing for Bitcoin Weekly, and he was earning 5 Bitcoins per article. Now, he was earning less than minimum wage back then, but it was pretty much okay, right? So he was writing for Bitcoin Weekly. Then later on, the same year that he got into crypto, he was a co-founder of Bitcoin Magazine, right? So he was moving really fast. Now, a few months later, he started looking into Bitcoin and started thinking about, okay, why don't we just build a multi-purpose blockchain? Then he started researching other cryptocurrencies, right? And to find other projects, rather, to find out what they're doing and if anyone is trying to solve this problem, which is another thing, right? Look for opportunities, look for where there's little holes, where there's a need that is not met yet. And then he found that no one was doing it. Now, the reason was most people thought that problem was too hard. And today, we see Bitcoin, it's a given, right? That it exists and in happy days. But Bitcoin was groundbreaking technology when it started. Ethereum was groundbreaking technology when it started. Hex was groundbreaking technology when it started. Now today we're used to all this stuff, but we forget that we've come a long way to get to where we are. So when he did that, he started going out talking to people, right? Talking about Ethereum, right? Talking about Ethereum. And one of the interesting things that I learned when I was looking into Vitalik was when he was going out talking about Ethereum was the fact that a lot of people didn't believe, and he actually had to go through some struggle in order to get the message across. I mean, he shilled Ethereum to CZ, the founder of Binance, and he said, no, look, I don't think this is going to work out. The problem is just too hard. But he talks about how he would go on and the only fruit that he would eat at some point was just a lemon, and he would sleep on the floor of the Bitcoin embassy. I don't know where that is, but I was like, okay, sleeping on the floor at some Bitcoin embassy. Yeah, that sounds like it was a little bit hard for him during that period of time. But he kept on pushing. Then he ended up getting Peter Thiel putting 100,000. Peter Thiel's got a fund that helps people drop out of school, drop out of college, and pursue their dreams, right? Peter Thiel dropped 100K into him, and then they did the Ethereum ICO. He met with some co-founders, the Cardano guy, the Polkadot guy, and Charles Hoskinson, and yeah. So we got to give them due respect, right? And some other founders as well. But you do learn some lessons that you can, in crypto, you can come from nothing and become massively successful. Because we should remember, Vitalik donated $1 billion to the India COVID fund, right? Do you want to do that? Right, now most people might not have the intellect that Vitalik has. I mean, we've got to be real here. Most people don't, right? But the things that he did to get where he is, I think that they're pretty doable for most people. Most people can write articles. Most people can yeah, and get paid for it. Now, we'll talk more on that later, right? But I do think that a lot of the steps that he took are very doable for most people. And if you do have bags of fiat already, right? If you have bags of fiat, you don't need to go through all those processes. You can just buy a coin that you expect to go 100x, and then yeah, you can make massive amounts of money. I mean, if you're putting in a milli, that's 100 million, right? If you're putting in 10K, that's 10 million. So if you do have bags of cash, you don't really need to go through the pain of all of this. So then they founded Ethereum. And when they founded Ethereum, right, I think the vision was just a multi-purpose blockchain, but they had nowhere near the vision that they have today, right? Right now, we've got NFTs coming up. We've got tokenization of everything, right? With the ICOs in 2017, we've got Uniswap, decentralized exchanges. We've got more tools that are being built to empower ordinary people. Just starting from that little the vision that he had back then at a very, 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 very young age. And now we've got Vitalik showing us some outrage marketing. Right? So I do think that there's massive lessons that anyone can learn. And the first lesson I do think that is you don't need money to make money in crypto. All you need is to be able to spot opportunities and jump on them. Now, the opportunity that the opportunity that Vitalik spotted was a simple opportunity of there's no magazines talking about Bitcoin. Let me found one. Let me create one. He started off working for one, but the opportunity was huge, right? There was enough space for both. Take a look at the Pulse Chain ecosystem right now. Right, obviously, if you're talking about Pulse Chain, right, there's obviously a lot of entrenched forces, there, people who have already built in a lot of the stuff. But the whole Pulse Chain ecosystem, it's not yet that much. It's still actually, I mean, if anyone was to join any new of the Pulse Chain projects right now, the odds that you become the biggest voice in that community is huge, because for most projects, there's absolutely no one who talks about them. Absolutely no one, and that's a massive, massive opportunity. It does come at a cost, right? Because obviously some people want to maintain their privacy, but you can maintain your privacy if you have money, because you then just buy the coins and just stay private. But that doesn't allow you a certain influence, because that's also important too, right? Influence is a lot more important than money in the crypto space. I think so, yeah. Because if you take a look at most of these big people, right, the big players in the crypto space, all they have to do is just tweet one message about a coin, and that coin is going to the moon. Now, that's much, much more valuable than having massive, massive amounts of money. Influence, in my view, is more valuable than money, and it allows you, it brings you closer to the real currency. Real currency, in my view, is power. That's real money. That's real wealth, and the reason is simple, right? We've seen this before. Governments have power to demonetize money, to say that the money you have is not money anymore, to say that, okay, everyone's bank account is cut by 50%, just by words, a decree. They can just put a decree forward and that happens. So I do think that the real currency is that. But obviously, if all you want is to get rich and have a good life, I think if you already have bags of capital, you can do that. But if you don't, crypto provides you opportunities that you can jump in by learning from some of these people. Now, I may start doing more of these videos that can hopefully educate people of how people have made it in the crypto space. And so if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, and hope this was informative, and hope you learned something from this. And I will see you again next time.